This podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Listener discretion is advised as some cases contain graphic content. We mean no disrespect to anyone we discuss in this podcast except our exes. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. However, we will be expressing our personal opinions. Buckle up, Buttercup.
Hey guys, it's Cynthia.
And I'm Wes, and this is Love and Luminol.
Yay.
Easter edition.
Easter edition. Happy Death and Awakening Day, Jesus.
Happy Zombie Jesus Day.
Yes. So this is an Easter episode.
Get your eggs ready.
You know, yes. And they're like, how could it be Easter? Well, because it's a pastor. So.
Uh-oh.
I figured Jesus, church.
Pastor.
Man of Jesus. Let's get to it.
All right,
so
we
we're
got
talk
a pastor.
Pastor Tracy Burleson.
Okay.
You ready for this one?
I guess so.
All right.
Let's get into it.
Let's go. All right. So this one's, you're going to like this one too.
I'm sure I will.
Mm-hmm. And we got Paul again. I'm sure he's just excited. He probably met Jesus. He's like, that guy's pretty cool.
If Jesus existed, I'm pretty sure he was one of them.
Don't know what the excitement's about, but he's a pretty nice guy.
It's like, Rose again. We do that every day.
First one to introduce me to the cigar. The hand roll. Poor Paul. And it's Easter, and
Paul.
Yeah.
One of the disciples.
Oh, I was thinking little alien from that movie.
Peter, Paul.
Well, it's fitting. He's flipping off everybody, and it's Easter, so welcome.
Happy Easter, fuckers.
He's on a roll. Poor Paulie. Got the sparkle in his eye.
For those listening on audio, Paul is a little alien figure.
Gray
alien figure, and he's giving the camera the middle finger.
He's
sitting on a book.
Yep, just flipping the world off.
I know we probably didn't go into that last episode. Yeah. We just said, hey, here's Paul, and everybody's like, who the fuck is
They're
Paul?
They're picturing like this guy sitting between us, just sitting there. Quiet as
It's a little alien statue. We normally have a little skull between us or a candle or something. Yeah. Today we have an alien sitting on a book.
Yeah, I like to change it up.
His name is Paul.
It's adorable. It's my spirit animal.
My spirit animal.
That's how I feel most days, just sitting there like that.
I'm the alien ready to say fuck it all.
That's how I sit in my office like that.
You're just staring at the door waiting for somebody to come in.
For someone to walk up.
Middle finger out. You walk in like, oh, sorry, didn't mean to bother you.
No one sees me unless they want candy. I'm a candy bowl. I'm like, oh, they're like, I don't need nothing, just getting candy. I'm like, oh.
Okay.
Glad I can help.
And that is where our finances go, to our candy bowl.
Yeah. But we're going to discuss Pastor Tracy Burleson today.
Alrighty.
And you said that would make him a Baptist.
Well, no, I just said pastor would make him not Catholic. He's Protestant, but I just said that we were talking about things that Catholic priests were known for doing that were bad.
I thought they had special, like,
and
father, pastor, priest stuff is different religions.
Priest and father. Father is what they call the priests, like when they talk to them. That's Catholic.
There's another
pastor would be like Protestant, like Baptist or Pentecostal, call theirs pastors.
There's another one too.
But anything Protestant would be pastor.
What do they call? It's not dean.
Deacon?
Yes.
That's somebody in the church, not the pastor.
Not the pastor. Okay.
So church has
how that hierarchy
church
goes.
has like government in it.
Jesus.
Like they have like no, Jesus isn't there.
Sorry. He's not there right now.
He's not there. Pastor's like the person who is in charge and teaches everything, but then they have like people underneath them that do like take care of the finances and organize things, and they have different levels, but deacon is one of them. Deacon, bishop, they have all that stuff. It's like a chessboard.
I tell you, it can be. I remember when Gramps got baptized and the pastor, whatever, that dunked him backwards was a little too off, and he hit the back of his head on the side.
That's a
hear him
lawsuit
go,
right
You
there.
can go, shit. And he goes, he did it back.
We need
Dad's
to
like,
do that one again.
He's going to dunk him again. Watch it. He didn't, though.
He didn't
goes,
get that out of
"No."
him yet.
I was like, oh, because they had a microphone stuck
It's
to him.
like,
Goodness.
you're born again. Shit. We didn't do a good enough job. You're born again.
I was like, oh, God. I'm not sitting next to him anymore. Oh, Lord. But this pastor's Houston, Texas.
Well, Houston, Texas. He probably is Baptist then.
He's 46 years old.
His age has nothing to do with it.
He has a son, William Fuller, which is 21 years old.
And that's a dead giveaway that he's not Catholic.
And that's
He has a
him.
son.
Him and his son right there.
Oh,
He has a wife, Pauletta Burleson, and she is 56. She's older than him
okay.
by about 10 years. Woo, Pauletta.
That's like us.
Yeah,
Except
only the
reverse.
reverse. She swagged her a young stud there.
Yeah.
There's Pauletta. She's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I like the color of her hair.
It's
That
like
real
platinum.
bright. Yeah, I like that. I
like
couldn't
that
pull it
platinum
off,
white.
but it's... Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I wish I could pull it off, but... Pauletta was going through some tough times when she met Tracy. She decided to attend a local church. First New Mount Calvary Baptist Church.
Oh.
You're right. It was there she met Mr. Tracy. And there's them.
She looks different there.
She does, yeah. But that's him. That's a younger picture, I assume, but
Yeah.
him and her. He was part of the church choir, playing the guitar.
Alrighty.
So I don't know what they did to their faces.
Is this your app that's doing
Yeah.
this? Ignore that they
Ignore,
look like
yeah, that
men
poor
with
girl on the
makeup.
right does not look like that in real life, and that looks like they put someone else's face on her.
Yeah, that looks.
I think that's Pauletta on the left, some other lady, and that's Tracy
his
here
back
in the
of his
front, the
head.
back of his head. Yep.
They didn't alter that though.
No,
Back of his head.
That shine was there all the time. That's what
He
we're
bald like
saying.
me.
Yeah, that shine is his. But they became inseparable, and they got married a few months later.
Alrighty.
So they hit it off pretty good. There's her and that.
They blurred out like most of their kids, except
Yeah,
the one that we saw
except
earlier.
the one earlier. But I don't know.
Maybe they were her kids from a
I
previous
don't know.
marriage.
That's the thing. I don't know. That's his son. Previously.
Yeah, so it might be.
So that might be.
her
I don't
kids
know if
from
that's
a
theirs
previous-
together or theirs from previous. She's 56, so I assume maybe previous.
I'm assuming previous,
Yes.
and that's probably why they blurred it out because they. Yeah, they're not part of this.
No. But, yep, Tracy had a son from a previous relationship, William. Like I said, William was born with sickle cell anemia.
Okay.
So he had a pretty nasty disease he had to live with for a while. You can say he does look kind of weak, frailly, sickly
Okay.
sometimes. I guess
Something
sickle
up with his
cell,
jaw,
it can
too.
go, yeah, go up, down, feel great, feel bad, you know.
Yeah.
He just had a rough time. But after a few years, Tracy became the pastor of that church. And there he is. Loud and proud.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't go with this.
But not everyone liked it. So not everyone liked him becoming the pastor of that church.
Why?
We'll get into that. William moved in a friend named Tyone, Tyonne. Tyone Palmer Pollard.
Okay.
That's a woman. That's her.
Okay.
So I don't know how you pronounce her name, but William moved in with her, or moved her in, so she can look after him due to his sickle cell anemia. She's like a live-in nurse, but
Okay.
also a friend. So there they are, kind of hanging out.
You.
Yeah. He's throwing up some signs, peace signs or whatever. I don't even know.
I don't know what that is.
I know. That's what I was like. It's not like the rock. Is it like the rock out sign or something? I don't know.
I don't know what that is.
But shortly after, their relationship grew more romantic.
Unless your app just cut off one of his fingers. Maybe he was doing West Side. Your app just cut it up.
They're like, we don't need that in there. But, however, this is where you're going to be like, what? So they got a little more romantic.
Uh-huh.
But Tracy also started having an affair with the same woman. So father
The
and
fuck?
son share the same girlfriend. Oh, Pastor Tracy. Oh, Pastor Tracy.
Male.
Yeah. And that brings us to May 18th of 2010.
He felt like she needed a little Jesus in her.
Mm-hmm. Tracy and Pauletta have a heated argument. She needs more than Jesus. When Tracy said, you know what, I'm over it. I'm going to go to a nearby store and get some snacks.
All right.
He returned around 10 p.m. to find his wife lying in the driveway dead.
The fuck?
Mm-hmm. He told 911 that all he can see was her laying face down and blood all around her head. And that's...
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's a picture. I don't know if that's like a reenactment.
I would hope so.
I don't
'cause
see any blood or nothing,
anything,
yeah.
and that looks like it was part of maybe an episode of like Unsolved Mysteries or something where they reenact.
Because that guy looks awful chill, holding his cup of coffee, just standing over
They
her
look
body.
like, but it all looks like actors in like a scene, and it has like a dark tone to it, like it was color graded, like it's a TV show or
Doors
something.
open. I don't understand.
I'm gonna go with like a Unsolved Mysteries type TV show.
It looked like something recreated for a...
Yeah.
And that guy's like, go put your freaking coffee over there.
It's like Rescue
Get your
911
notepad.
or, where they do 48 Hours or something.
Yeah.
It's one of them shows where they did a reenacting scene.
Mm-hmm. But on that 911 call, he reported that he thinks she was shot. But then again, I don't know how he could tell because all he said was face down, blood around her head. So she could have been hit in the head. She could have been stabbed.
I mean, it could have been anything.
Yeah, but he said shot. So they're like, okay, since you know. Like, and the autopsy showed that she was shot in the back of the head. But he told police that he and his wife had an argument that night and he left to go buy snacks. He said when he returned, he found her lying dead. But the police didn't buy it.
Huh.
And the investigators got their first big break when an anonymous caller said she heard William confess to the murder and agreed to testify against him.
The fuck?
So I don't know if he went to confessional at a different church or what, but someone heard him. Okay. Yeah. So someone heard him confessing somebody. So, a wiretap was set up for when the friend that heard him confess called William. So William would be the son.
Yeah.
So the friend of William wore the wire and tried to get a confession out of him.
Was the friend the one that they were sleeping with?
No.
Oh.
But he described the crime in detail. Oh. A few years before the murder, William filed abuse allegations against his stepmother.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm. While they landed her in court, she avoided jail time. She made a deal to go to some classes and be on probation. So I don't know if there was she actually hit him or anything. Or if she just like, whatever, I'll go to some classes.
Yeah.
For anger. I don't know. Didn't go into details. But William sung like a canary when they brought him in for questioning.
Mm.
He's like, yeah, because there he is.
He's like, yeah, I did it.
He's like, I hold no loyalty. Listen, this is what happened. Daddy paid me to kill her.
What?
Yep. He said Dad paid him. $60,000 life insurance is what she had on her. So he offered Tracy and Tyone offered him $3,000 if he killed his stepmother, Pauletta.
What the fuck?
Yep. After questioning some members of the congregation, they discovered that several followers had become, which is why they didn't want him to be pastor, become upset after Tracy pushed them to donate more money to the church.
Okay.
So he wanted more money.
I mean, that's what churches do.
Yeah, but I think he was overly pushy. And then he showed up in nice clothes.
That's what churches do.
So they're like, wait a minute. William was charged with murder, but not capital murder since he cooperated. And he obviously is going to testify against the rest of them.
Yeah.
William agreed to plead guilty and testify against Tyone and Tracy in exchange for a 20-year sentence.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So in September 2011, Tracy went to trial. Up to see him was Judge Susan Brown, a woman. Yeah, he wasn't going to do very well. And his defense attorney was Laney Lindsay.
That sounds like a secret identity of a superhero.
It does. Lane Lindsay.
Laney Lindsay.
But prosecutors put the affair as the motive.
Okay.
Also, Tracy proposed to his mistress. Yeah.
The fuck?
She told her family on Mother's Day in 2010 that they planned to marry. But he was still married to Pauletta. Yeah.
Bet that got around the church.
I bet it did. His friend Pamela Robinson stated that Tracy once became involved with a woman from the choir, and one day he even made out with her in his office. So the church, that's why the church didn't like him as pastor, because they knew he got around the church.
Yeah.
Yeah. William testified that his father told him about several affairs.
Damn.
Then he claimed in 2008 his father began nagging him and hitting him to persuade him to kill. So he was conditioning him, I guess, to pull this off.
Yeah.
But Pastor Tracy said, quote, "I would never tell my son to do anything like that. I didn't pay my son. I didn't have no money to pay my son."
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet, yeah. But he did admit that he was hitting up Tyone in more ways than one. So he confessed to that. He also said he found out about his son's affair with her a short time before the murder. So he said, "I didn't know my son was with her until right before my wife ended up dead." And unfortunately, the church burned down early May of 2010.
What the fuck?
10 days before the murder.
What the fuck? Sounds like an insurance scam.
Deacon testified that Tracy said, quote, "Now that the church is burned down, I've got one more thing to get rid of."
Oh, shit.
Yeah. But no charges were filed for the fire.
Okay.
So, yeah. I guess they couldn't find enough evidence to pin it on him, but according to that one guy, he said the church is gone. Probably insurance, like you said, and the wife's gone. He's living high and free, I guess, is what he was hoping.
Keep diddling the nurse.
Prosecution brought up Tracy saying during interviews that he is, quote, "supposed to be a man of God." That was his defense. "I'm a man of God.
A man of God.
I would never burn his house down. I would screw a couple choir ladies on the desk, but never burn it down."
Never.
Probably should after all the stuff that's been going on in there and needed cleansed. God.
Needs cleansed by fire.
They'd be trying to baptize at that church. But I ain't getting in that nasty water. I know what goes on around here.
I know what you did in that baptism
No.
pool.
Nope. The Harris County Sheriff Detective Sergeant was Ron Hunter. He was on the investigation, and he stated, quote, "The plan was that Tracy was going to engage in an argument with Pauletta and that he wanted William to shoot her from behind so that she wouldn't see who did the murder." So that was, his dad was going to have the alibi of fighting, leaving, coming back home and finding her. The cell phone records show that Tracy and his son were at the house when the murder occurred.
Well, yeah.
So his phone location says you were right there. Tyone and Tracy thought that getting married so soon after the divorce would look bad. So they figured if she died that, you know, they get married after that, it wouldn't be as bad.
It would look like he ran into the arms of someone for comfort, and it turned into something else.
Instead of a divorce, which is bad for the church, I guess. A pastor to be divorced, at least.
Yeah.
She had to go.
It's still death do you part.
Yep.
So let's do that death.
So he figured murder was his way out.
Yep.
But his son made a shocking statement during the trial. He stated that his father made the time to have sex with Tyone right after the murder. He had to get his in before the cops came. Yeah. Ugh.
What the hell?
He was preaching the word of God. Look at you. I know. Right? But Pauletta's sister, Joyce Bingham, stated, quote, "He lied." Bingham. "He lied. He stole. He cheated her out of her life. He's a coward. He's a low-down, dirty coward."
Oh, that sounds like a Southern guy.
I mean, that's probably PG from what she wanted to say. I'm sure. She's like, he may not be no son of God, but I'm a lady of the Lord, and this is my version of what I'm going to say.
He's a low down
piece of shit. She's going to lay into him. But Tracy was convicted of capital murder, sentenced to life without the possibility of parole.
Oh, shit. Mm-hmm. Nice.
Life. He dodged a bullet. Because like we discussed earlier, Texas don't play.
Mm-mm. He could have got that death penalty.
They're
quick on the draw with those things.
Yeah, they are. They're like, we ain't going to pay to feed you for years. You're gone.
We can just charge up old Sparky over here and get her done.
Uh-huh.
Why are we going to sit and feed you for 20 years? We'll just throw you in the chair over here and get it done.
Get it done. He apologized to his congregation.
Sorry, y'all. I backslid.
Stating, quote, I want them to know that I love being the pastor at that church, and I'm so sorry for the adultery, but I want them to know I did not kill my wife.
Well, no, your son did.
Right, you paid him to.
After you paid him.
Oh, he has a way with words, don't he? So his sister, Fanny Aaron, said he was offered a 40-year plea bargain, but, quote, he felt he was going to get off because, as a man of God, he couldn't possibly. No way. He thought they were just going to let him go.
Man of
that
God.
Can't be him.
Can't go to jail.
No. And his mother, Joyce Fuller, said about the conviction, quote, these are tears of joy. Like, she's glad
his
he's
own
going.
Mother.
Yes. She said she moved from Houston and gave up her parental rights because she feared him.
Damn. So he's had issues for a while.
His own mother's like, okay, I'm so glad he's where he needs to be. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know what he did to that lady, but 5 days later, Tyone's trial began, and William testified again.
Oh.
Yep, she helped William by picking him up after the murder when he called her, after she banged his dad, real quick.
Yeah.
She also assisted in cleaning him up and destroying the gun. She's charged with tampering with evidence. She was found guilty and sentenced to 7 to 10 years in prison.
Ugh.
And 10 years probation. Texas, come on. You dropped that ball
Where's
there.
Sparky?
Right. She's just as guilty as the other dude.
Man.
Well, there's her. She just got her 7 to 10. She got her dime, and that's it. Mm-mm. But there's an episode on this case on the show Snapped Killer Couples.
Oh, that's probably where that still came from.
Possibly. But there's also a movie on Prime.
Oh, maybe that.
Yeah.
Oh, I told you that it was color graded like it came from a movie or a TV show. So
people, once these men of God go crazy, people
Snapped.
films, movies, books, autographs, all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, no way.
Snapped.
There's
Baptisms
the movie
of murder. Oh, it's
that's
called
out.
Sins of the Father.
Sins of the Father, yep. Who is that? That looks like Chris Brown almost.
Kind of does.
It does, but it's Tyre or something, Hill. Tayeti Hill? I don't know, but it looks like Chris Brown.
It's a month of love, lies, and murder.
Father doesn't always know best. Well.
That's funny.
He looks like he probably paid to kill his wife in real life. Look at that. They casted that well.
Yeah.
They gave him hair.
Yeah, they
Don't give him a
changed
decency.
it a bit.
Oh, no.
They made him look more menacing, though.
They did.
I don't know. I'd watch it.
You're like, I'd watch it.
Looks good.
You
I like
might
all
have to check it
the
out.
rings and jewelry on his hands
Yeah,
too.
they made him
because
look like a pimp, didn't they? He's got a Rolex watch.
that's where all them
Ring on every
church
finger.
donations went.
Yeah, that's why they said he was asking for more and more money and ended up with fancier shit. And
That's usually how it goes.
he's money hungry, obviously. And then he's like, you know what? I'm just going to burn this bitch down.
Damn.
Oh, Lord. Oh.
Sins of the Father.
Yep.
Next week on A&E.
TV1 represent.
What is that?
I don't know. That's what it says on the bottom.
I wonder if that's a Texas channel.
It might be.
TV1.
A TV1
Represent.
original movie. It's on Prime and then the Snapped show.
Huh. Okay.
It was very, yeah. So
Interesting.
Yeah. So there you go. Happy
If anybody
Easter.
knows what TV1 Represent is, let us know, because I'm curious. I think it's a Texas channel. It's kind of like
so.
CW or something, but it's like Texas. That's my guess, but I could be wrong.
He's weird me. That is Chris Brown.
It is not Chris
It
Brown.
has to be. It looks like it. Like a
No.
young Chris Brown.
It's not Chris Brown.
I keep looking at it and be like, why'd you slap Rihanna? That is Chris Brown. It is.
Wow.
It looks like him. I don't know. Maybe I don't know who Chris Brown looks like. I ain't seen him since the 90s anyway.
Yeah, you have. You saw him in that music video with Busta Rhymes where he like spits 100 miles an hour.
Oh, I don't pay
Let's
attention to
go.
him.
Gotta get away.
Oh,
That
yeah.
one?
See, I don't pay attention to Chris Brown ever since.
Yeah.
I'm getting him confused
Look at
with
me now.
what's that little dog?
What little dog?
Bow Wow. I get them confused
I'm thinking
all the
actual
time.
dogs, and she's talking about a rapper.
Little Bow Wow, yeah.
Lil Bow
I get
Wow.
him and Chris Brown confused all the time.
Okay.
Nothing alike, I know.
No. Nothing.
Little
They don't
Bow
look.
Wow,
They don't look
Chris
anything
Brown.
alike.
They both from Disney, is that why?
No.
I don't know. They both date Rihanna?
I mean, not that I'm aware of.
Who knows then? I don't know. For some
Am
reason,
am
I
I
keep
wrong? I never heard of
I
Lil
don't know,
Bow
but
Wow
every time I hear
and
like
Rihanna.
a Bow Wow sing or Chris Brown, I always call him the other one.
I don't know. I think that's just a personal problem.
And this guy, they probably found him walking down the street and be like, you look like you'd fit this part. And I'd say he looks like Chris Brown.
I don't know. When they do the Chris Brown movie, they may cast him.
They might. They should. It fooled
You
me.
hear that, people? What's his name? I can't.
looks
It's
like-
kind of blurred.
Yeah, it's like Tirade Hill. Tirade Hill. It looks like Teray something.
You hear that?
Hill.
You hear that, directors? When you're casting for the Chris Brown movie, that's the place you got to look,
It
because
looks
evidently
good.
it looks like Chris
He's
Brown.
got like the Chris Brown fade cut. He's doing it.
So it's the haircut.
It's something. It's the haircut and it's those eyes.
It's the
Something
eyes.
about the eyes.
Okay.
You see it now?
I mean, I said he kind of looks
Yeah.
like he has a similar look, but I could definitely tell it's not Chris Brown.
Yeah, I don't know.
You were like, "That's Chris Brown," like you were convinced.
I was concerned. I know. And then I read the name of his head. I'm like, that don't say Chris Brown.
I'm like, that ain't Chris Brown.
I
I
swore
mean,
it
they have
was.
they have some similar features, but I could tell that was not him.
Anyway, you gotta check that out.
The guy on the left though looks like he could play a renewed version of Candyman.
He does, don't he?
He looks menacing. He looks good.
He does.
That's a good cast. I mean, that's a good casting for a menacing creature.
I don't know if they're taunting him by giving him a lot of hair in the movie and he's shiny in real life.
I think the actor just didn't want to shave his head.
Probably. He's like, I ain't shaving my head to represent this asshole. It took me forever to grow these locks. I ain't doing it.
Nope, I ain't doing it.
You want me, you want my hair too.
Mm-hmm.
Check that out.
Well,
There you go.
again,
There's your Easter
happy
special.
Easter.
You're like, happy Easter. Can't believe he burned his own church down. I don't want to hear none of it.
Well, in celebration of this being an Easter episode, it wasn't just about him being a pastor.
Yeah.
It was a lot of sex. And Easter is fertility.
Yeah.
So that's why we have
He
eggs.
was fertile.
That's why we have eggs, by the way.
Fertile all over the choir.
Eggs and bunnies.
Ishtar season.
Ishtar. It's a pagan celebration of fertility.
But oh my Lord. It's awful. Because I hear him like them burning down abortion clinics and stuff. He burned down his own church. I don't
Yep.
want to hear nothing from any of you. Like, you burn everything down.
See what
You guys need to calm down. I'll burn that abortion clinic. I'll burn that satanic temple. I'm going to burn this church down. Oh my gosh. Calm down. Leave people alone.
Yep.
But he's a crazy fella.
Yep.
I don't even know how he made it to pastor. Do they get voted in?
I don't know.
Who promotes
I know.
these
I know.
people?
I don't know. I would assume they hire them, so somebody's got to do the hiring. So
We need to check into this. Is it like the former pastor will pick the next one, or I want to know.
I mean,
Do they apply for the job?
What if they died?
True. I don't know then. We got to figure
I'm
this out.
assuming somebody's hiring.
They apply and they're like, he's a good one.
Yeah. It's got to be like, we were talking about deacons and bishops and stuff. Maybe that's part of their duties is finding a pastor if they need to replace the pastor.
Well, this one's fired. You don't hire nobody.
Bad HR department there. They don't know what they're doing.
I don't know. Because I've heard, I've been to Papal's when they got a new pastor because his was ill. And they said, this guy was pastor at this church over in Arizona or something. So I don't know if
they usually do hire him from other
churches.
Yeah.
And that's what, I didn't know if he's like, is it a college degree?
Some of them do. Not
Can
all
you
of
walk
them.
up and say, yeah, I'll be pastor? And they're like, all right.
So they do offer a college degree for pastors. But a lot of them don't have it. A lot of them are just like, they've gone to the church forever and they end up being like a youth pastor and then they work their way up. But
see, that's what confused me because the church that say, no, you can't have your wedding here because you're not a member of the church.
Yeah.
We'll hire some random dude from Arizona to be the pastor.
Yeah, but he could also be a member of that church. Like, you know how there's a ton of Church of Gods?
Yeah.
They're all under one big organization called Church of God.
Oh, because I'm thinking
that's where they get their name. Like, this is the
Shelbyville Church of God.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're all
First Christian Church.
Anything that says Church of God in the name is from that organization.
Oh, because I was like, why
there's
can't
a headquarters.
People get married?
There's a headquarters and everything. So they probably have a list of people that are, available to be pastors if you need one.
See, we gotta see how this whole organization works. Yep. So I thought it was weird. I was like, you hire this guy from 3 states over, but
he probably was in
poor Missy's daughter can't get married here because she didn't come to service. I'm like, what?
Her
mom's here every Sunday.
She ain't paid her tithes.
What? Gosh.
She ain't paid her tithes this month.
Awful. I remember I've never been so offended. I took Braden there to Papaw's for Easter one time. Easter. He was almost 2. And they told Papaw, bring your family, bring everybody.
Yeah.
Went there, Braden did his little egg hunt. And they came up to me and they said, he should really pay for those eggs by coming to service more and come back to Jesus. I'm like, he's 1.5. I didn't know I had to pay for these eggs. I thought you invited me.
You pay for the eggs with your soul.
He should really pay for these eggs by coming back to service every Sunday. Find Jesus again.
You know what that literally does sound like? They wanted him to sell his soul for some eggs.
I know. I'm like, he's 1. I don't even think he knows who Jesus is yet. I was like,
I'm going to need you to sign over your soul if you want them eggs.
You don't know red from blue right now. I don't know why you're asking him for a commitment. But I was offended. I was like, what?
That would be too.
I was like, I had to pay. You invited us. Bring your family and friends to our wonderful event. You need to come to service to pay for those eggs since we gave you eggs. I'm like, and take them back. It's like, what?
Usually they don't word it like that. They don't word it with pay, but usually the whole point of that is bring people in so we can try to convince them to go to church here. That's the whole point of them doing those. The fish fries and the egg hunts and the what is it? The trunk or treats for Halloween.
Yeah.
Like the whole point of that is to get people to show up at the church so they can be like, you know what? You should attend service.
Yeah. Like I figured it'd be more of a friendly.
But I've never heard it go,
a hustle a toddler for.
You need to pay for that, right? Tell you what, you show up at church, we'll call it even.
I'm like, what? And it is a pastor's wife.
That's a rundown right there.
Accused my 2-year-old.
That's like the mob. They're like.
And she asked like he lost Jesus to find Jesus again. He never found him the first time. He's 2.
He knew him before he was born.
He can't find his shoes. I was like, what?
Baby, he knew him before he was born.
I doubt it. I was like, he wouldn't remember. But I'm like, what? I said, come on, baby, let's go. Like, I don't know what they want from you.
Put the eggs down, let's go.
It scared me to death. It was just like, find Jesus again.
We want his soul.
Where did he lose him at? Like, I don't know. He's 2.
I don't know. If he wants... I didn't lose him. He just never came and introduced himself.
It took everything in me to keep him from coloring in the hymns book sitting there in the back of the pew. I was like,
I would have let him.
I was like, I don't.
Like, here's some crayons, boy.
Poor guy, and he's looking up at her like, I gotta pay. I was like, oh.
Pay for the eggs?
I was like,
y'all invited us.
I know. I was like, okay.
That's rude.
And nothing's worse. You know what do they call them? Sunday kid service or something? They will drag your children back there.
Oh, to Sunday school?
Yeah. Ugh. They're like, he's got to come back here with us. And he's screaming and crying.
You know why?
They're just dragging him back there. I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, no.
Y'all are going to hate me.
I was like, what?
The reason they separate them is easier to brainwash kids when their parents aren't around.
I was like, she was just like, come here, baby. She grabbed his hand. He's like, I'm crying. She's just, come on, dragging him away. I'm like, hold on, come back. I was like, who are you? I was like, where are you taking him? Oh, Sunday school for kids. He'll love it. And I was like, he don't look like he would love it.
I don't think he's going to love it. I
said, no, he's too scared. I said, come here. He stayed with me, but.
Yeah. Now color in this hymn book.
He was so scared. He just sat there like. He's like, I almost got kidnapped in the middle of service.
And we never went back, is what you said.
He said, this lady dragged me back there, brought me back to Mom, and then they started standing up and singing. He's like, I don't know what was happening. I was like, oh. But guys, don't do it that way. You traumatize them. Mm-hmm. Like, you want to come back here and color with other little kids? That's something. Yeah. Don't be like, come on, you got to come back here. And he's like, like, where am I going? I was like, no. And he looked at me like, you really let me get kidnapped? I'm like, oh.
Yes. Go to Jesus.
Come find him. No. I think they needed to word those differently. That church was a little. They've been doing it too long. At this point, they're like, I don't care. Like,
y'all need to pay for them eggs.
Yeah. Come here, kid. Get back here. It's like, oh. But luckily, I think he don't remember any of that. He was like 2.
I don't know. He hasn't asked you can we go to church? So it might have stuck.
I don't know. He's been since then.
Yeah.
With Mom and him. But
I wonder if they took him back to Sunday school.
I don't know. I didn't ask him. I'd be nervous. Did they take you in the back?
That just sounds wrong.
I know.
Did they take him to the back? Yeah? Okay. We know what happens back there.
We know what happens. No. But I imagine toddlers pretty scary and they're like, come here. And they just drag you away. You're like, what? So people, be more descriptive before you just grab a child.
You, come with me.
You want to go back there and play with the other little kids?
No.
Sing songs and watch movies?
No.
Okay, that's okay, sweetie. And then walk off. Don't be like, come here.
Come here, little boy. You're coming
You got to
with me.
come back here because you're going to be loud out here. Come here. He's like, ah.
You're making him loud.
I'm like, where he's going? Everyone's like, ooh. I was like, wait.
Hush that child up. We're praising.
My baby. I was like, oh. Well, there you go. Happy Easter.
Right. Happy Easter. Man.
Guys need communication skills sometimes.
Anyway. You got anything you want to add?
No, that I can think of. Hope everyone has a wonderful holiday.
Yeah.
Wherever you choose to celebrate. Enjoy your family and friends.
Yep.
It's going to be rainy here, I think, so stay dry, stay warm.
Yeah. All right. Well, feel free to like and subscribe so you get updates and when we have new episodes and whatnot. You can also go to our website, loveandluminol.com. We post there when we have new episodes, as well as news, links to all our audio and video podcasts, links to all our social media, and as well, you can click on a contact form and send us a message if you want right from there. As far as social media, we're everywhere except for X, and we are at Love and Luminol.
Yep. And as always, thoughts and blessings out to Pauletta, her friends and family, her children, her poor children.
But not the pastor.
Not the pastor. Obviously the church members, because that is their place of worship, and he burned it down. supposedly.
I mean,
Not confirmed, but
we don't know that for sure.
yeah. So our thoughts are to
But-
you. I'm sorry for him burning your place down, but
Yeah.
hopefully they rebuilt it better and got a nicer pastor in there, and it's back and rolling. So
He's video conferencing from the prison. He's still the pastor.
no.
They got
They're
a
like,
big
don't let him back in here.
they got a big projection screen up. He's like, "Welcome live from prison."
I need to look and see, because they have pastors in prison, don't they? I wonder if he's
Sure, there
one
are
of
a
them.
lot of pastors in
I
prison.
wonder if he's one of them. Yeah, because a lot of them go to jail. Like, I found God. He's like, I had him coming in. It's like, let me lead you to him.
Yeah,
He's probably in there making a prison congregation.
he's baptizing people in the toilets.
Oh, probably. But
All
there you
right.
go.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next
All
time.
right. See ya.
Bye.